start from scratch, quickly rise to one's feet, and implement new ideas. Such is the brief history of a digital laboratory from Donetsk that has become a startup development platform for young inventors to translate ideas into reality, and for future students and engineers to get their first hands-on experience. This is a story about how public initiatives could be a part of the technological development of Ukraine. During the past few years, we have witnessed a real creative industrial boom in Ukraine. Such a phenomenon requires space, so various hubs and labs emerge like mushrooms after an August rain. This is especially noticeable in megacities. In Donetsk, a major industrial city in eastern Ukraine, 6 years ago, a public art initiative platform was created there, located in the former insulation materials factory. Among the chosen activities was the so-called Fab Lab, that is a mini factory that allows creating any material through digital devices. The concept of the fabrication laboratory was developed at MIT for the manufacture of unique objects. The same laboratory was created by founders of the Donetsk Fab Lab. It began working in late 2013, but it did not even last for a single year. In June, gunmen of the self-proclaimed Donetsk People's Republic captured the city. The Civic Initiative Platform and the Fab Lab were robbed. Unfortunately, when the plant was captured, we had to move quickly. We lost a lot of equipment because of that. They managed to save only one 3D printer. Now it is in a place of honor at the new location in Kyiv. The whole organization moved there as founders of the public initiative platform could not have left their creation. The platform was restored and now it is part of Donetsk in the capital of Ukraine. The laboratory also opened with a new name and fresh strength. This laboratory means a lot to us. It is a memory of our roots in Donetsk, which we left behind. In addition, the laboratory is growing and developing. Men who work there are also developing. We supplement it with additional programs and master classes. New equipment, new trends in science are quickly appearing there. There are a number of different devices along with a saved 3D printer. A lot was made by young inventors by hand. By the way, almost the entire laboratory staff is made up of former Donetsk residents that were forced to leave their home due to the combat. Gennady Izotov and I made almost all the 3D printers that are here. We were doing that even before we began working at the new location, where we started developing typical systems. The current laboratory is, above all, the environment of like-minded people. There are those for whom it is just a hobby or self-realization. For others, it is an opportunity to start a startup project. But for everything to work out and be a commercial success, an investor for the ideas needed, or at least a prototype of the device, must be created. In Fab Labs, small shops that give opportunity to create are most suited for that. We are less focused on the IT sector, which is now very popular and is considered the most advanced direction of Ukraine's intellectual economy. But we still believe that it is important to produce a physical product and that it can be successful not only in Ukrainian but also in Western markets. What interesting is can the laboratory create? For example, they brought with them the hobby of designing unmanned aerial vehicles from Donetsk. Fans of drones rallied around us. There are 4 of us, and we make completely different models, as well as those that are somewhat similar. My colleagues and I are quite experienced when it comes to designing drones. We made cargo drones which could move 4 kilograms of cargo across 7 kilometers in return. And all sorts of entertainment like racing drones of different classes. We have drones with a dropping mechanism. You attach some cargo to it, It flies to the destination, hovers over it, drops the cargo, and flies back.
Классы дронов. То есть там есть дроны даже с аппаратом сброса. То есть там цепляешь какой-то грузик, дрон подлетает к точке, на точке зависает, сбрасывает груз и возвращается обратно.
In reality, making such a device is not a problem. The technology, structural parts, and software are freely available. But making the device special requires fantasy, talent, and desire. And that is how the idea to construct a drone which can launch model rockets appeared.
Такого еще толком никто не делал.
Nobody did that before. It was a fresh idea worth implementing.
Нужно воплотить. Что, собственно, мы и сделали.
For now, the device is designed only for fans of model rocket sports.
Можно запускать на выставках ракеты, особо не опасаясь за окружающих.
Rockets can be launched at exhibitions without fearing for the safety of onlookers.
Вариант.
Also, as an option, the rocket can be lifted to 200 meters on a drone. The air is more rarefied up there. The rockets experience less drag when launched from the drones, meaning they can climb much higher with the same engine power and amount of fuel. But inventors believe that in the future, their device could be used for other applications. For example, it could be used to launch weather balloons and even small satellites that would rise to the upper atmosphere with some special sensors. It would be difficult without electronics in such a device. Its course can be plotted from a smartphone. It would take off, reach its destination, and do what it was asked to do, and return to where it took off from.
Сделает там, что нужно, вернется обратно и сядет прямо там же, где взлетел.
We are used to orienting in space using GPS, but there are situations when it is unavailable or inefficient. In such a case, other devices can be used. For example, the indoor positioning system. Usually, it is used in warehouses where loaders are not people but robots that know what to move and where thanks to that system. But the young inventors of the Fab Lab have their own vision of the possibilities of such systems.
Сейчас существуют похожие проекты, но они отличаются по реализации, так скажем, этого.
There are similar projects now, but they vary in realization and positioning. Say, certain lines on the floor, which are not very convenient, or connecting to sensors via optic fiber, which can lead to errors. So I chose wireless, as it's more precise. With it, you can find your coordinates with precision to centimeters or even millimeters.
Точный, и с помощью него можно определить свои координаты, надеюсь, до сантиметров. В лучшем случае, может, до миллиметров дойдет.
According to Vladislav, wireless communication does not depend upon lighting or camera quality and does not require additional equipment. Robots with such a system will not only move along clearly specified routes, but also see obstacles and calculate how to get around them.
Сюда же планируется подключать различные сенсоры.
We plan to connect a series of sensors here. For example, radio frequency tags, small coils that determine the device. They are attached to post cargo that has to be moved. Up to thousands or millions of such parcels, information about which it is in the database. They in turn are connected to our controller. If at this point we need to move container number 1, our device knows where the container is and where it has to be delivered.
В данный момент нужно привести контейнер номер 1, то наше устройство узнает, где этот контейнер из базы данных, едет туда, берет этот контейнер и привозит обратно.
Vladislav is currently working on sensors that can determine the coordinates of the device. He is writing software for them. He has high hopes for it, because apart from the warehouse robot, the invention can be used for other purposes. For example, it could be modified for people with visual impairments. With such a device, people can move indoors without any help from others.
Допустим, у них есть несколько специальных датчиков или сенсоров, которые.
Suppose they have some special sensors attached to their legs, which helps to determine if an object is an obstacle or how they could get around it. The device notifies with either sounds or electric pulses, for example.
Это может быть как звуковая индикация самая простая, так и какая-то физическое, а небольшие электрические.
The laboratory implements its own projects and teaches anyone who creates things with their hand. Therefore, an important part of its work is master classes for children and adults and creative and technical groups for students. Here, people believe that they can become inventors, makers of the future.